continue on the record with Dr. Tommy Chang of the Boston Public Schools, and we're continuing our OTR Pop Quiz with the school theme. Question 3 is about geography. The Patriots, as you know, have won 4 Super Bowls. Can you name one of the 4 U.S. cities where the Patriots have won a Super Bowl? Just one of the 4.
Okay, that means Tampa?
No.
No. Phoenix?
No. Well, no. All right, you're all for it's Glendale, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix.
Okay.
They've won them in New Orleans, Houston, Jacksonville, and Glendale.
Glendale and Phoenix don't count. No.
No. It's like Newton and Boston. That's what it is.
Right.
I don't believe in multiple choice exams.
Okay. Question 4 is about science. According to NFL regulations, what is the minimum air pressure level for game footballs?
15 psi.
12 and a half.
12
That's
and a
the
half.
minimum. The maximum is 13 and a half. Question 5 is about phys ed. Tom Brady was a 3-sport athlete in high school. Football was one of the sports he played. Can you name the other 2?
Baseball?
Yeah, all right, that's good enough. Very good. Dr. Tommy Chang.
I was going to say ballet, maybe.
Very good.
Next year when you come back, we expect you to do better on the Patriots questions. But for now, I think you did pretty well. Speaking of Deflategate, the NFL has made a lot of news this past year, including domestic violence and cheating. Many kids view these athletes as role models. What's a teacher's responsibility in all of this? Do they bring the conversation into the classroom?
I think teachers actually need to talk about role models in all aspects of a student's life, not just with athletes, but teachers themselves are role models.
Well, isn't the example in the family, couldn't they be role models themselves?
Absolutely.
The own core family?
Absolutely. Families, it could be a minister at their church. We shouldn't just focus on athletes.
But if she hears the kids having conversations about a Tom Brady, about Deflategate, or about any, athletic star that's in the news, do you use that as a teachable moment, or do you sort of de-emphasize it because there should be other role models in the classroom?
Well, if I was a teacher, and I was a teacher, I would say, what do you think about what happened? Do you think Tom Brady did the appropriate thing by not discussing it publicly? So I would make it a teachable moment, absolutely, but I would expand the spectrum of role models for our kids.
There is a move away from the MCAS right now. Boston switched to an alternative testing system called PARCC last year on a trial basis, except for 10th grade. Do you think PARCC is a better assessment test?
I believe an assessment that does not just use multiple choice or short answers would be a better bet for us as we move forward.
What do you plan to do in the foreseeable future?
So state assessments are dictated obviously by the state. Right now, many districts in the Commonwealth are having this debate. And our belief here in Boston is that we have to start moving away from MCAS. We have to start focusing on more Common Core assessments.
What is Common Core? Common Core assessments means?
Well, Common Core assessments are assessments that actually assess for deeper knowledge for kids, more critical thinking, asking kids to write complete essays, asking students to solve math problems based on multiple tests, and then make arguments.
Is that within a testing format, or is that within a classroom situation? Because some kids, as you know, don't perform well in a tested format, but yet they understand the information, incredibly well.
It's actually a bit of both. So on Common Core assessments, students may be asked to read 2 pieces of writing, have a discussion with each other about the 2 pieces of writing, do some brainstorming before they actually begin writing.
Do you think PARCC meets that standard a little bit better than MCAS?
Oh, absolutely.
So therefore, would you like to see all of Boston switch over to to the PARCC system?
So whether it's PARCC or another sort of assessment that looks more like a Common Core assessment, so that's the way we need to go.
It's funny, we're sitting here and we're doing today's shows with iPads in front of us, and it gives us the access to any information that's available anywhere at any time.
Absolutely.
Should students have this at their fingertips during the school day? In other words, is problem solving and finding the answer more important perhaps than memorizing some formula they might forget when they walk out of school?
I think you are absolutely right. Knowledge and content is at our literal fingertips now. However, too often we depend on an adult in a classroom to deliver all the content to us. Adults need to become more facilitators of meaning making rather than the ones that deliver information.
Dr. Chang, thank you for joining us.
Of course, always.
It's always a pleasure to have
Always.
Dr. Tommy Chang with us here. We will talk presidential politics next. We'll talk the Pope. changes at DCF. It's all up next on the OTR Roundtable. Stay with us.